The former UFC champion, Petr Yan, has verbally agreed to fight a guy that's not even ranked in the top 10 of the UFC bantamweight division. What are we doing? Like, literally, what are we doing? Petr Yan has agreed. Marcus Mcghee has obviously agreed. He'd be stupid not to fight the number 2 guy. Marcus is number 13 with no wins against current top 15 guys. Just beat one guy inside of the top 15, got him in, Jonathan Martinez. Cool, a decision. And now they're going to boost him all the way up to number 2. And it's verbally agreed for July on the UFC Abu Dhabi card. It's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. Marcus Mcghee is a very, very lucky man, but he's got to hope things don't change because it's just verbal. At the moment, there are no contracts. The fight has not been signed, but both fighters have agreed. And this is where I'm getting a little bit of doubt that maybe this fight happens or not. Marcus has told me personally he has accepted the fight. He has told the UFC yes, just hasn't gotten the contract yet. Petr Yan, I haven't heard from him specifically because I don't have a relationship with Petr Yan, but I've heard he's also said yes. Now, here's a little wrinkle into that kind of world. A day later, we get this. July rematch call out. Corey Sandhagen and Petr Yan. And this would make a hell of a lot more sense. Let's just be serious here. Corey Sandhagen. Corey, you were good yesterday, but don't forget this fight. The only one who deserves a fight for the belt is me. And it's basically a clip. This is what Petr Yan put on his story. It's a clip of Petr Yan knocking down Corey Sandhagen with a vicious shot in their interim title fight a few years ago. And Petr Yan's like, Corey, you did well, 1 win in a row, but you know who the real guy that deserves a shot? It's Petr Yan. I would agree. I would say on merit, Petr Yan is the most deserving bantamweight to fight for the belt. And that's kind of what he was saying there. And Corey Sandhagen responds and he says, no, Corey, or no, Petr, I deserve the shot. So they're going back and forth on who deserves the title shot. Eventually, in the end, Petr Yan just says, I don't know if you guys can see this full-on part right here. My face might be in the way. But it says, we can find out. This is what Petr is saying. We can find out who deserves it more, if there's any debate, in July. Same place as last time, Abu Dhabi, July 26th. UFC Fight Night, Abu Dhabi. He says, we can find out in July, in the same place. No more short notice excuse for you, son. Last time they fought was for the interim belt, and it was short notice for Corey Sandhagen to step in there, and Petr Yan ended up winning that fight by decision. So, again, an interesting wrinkle there for Petr Yan. Again, the fight with Marcus Mcghee isn't signed yet, so Petr Yan can ask for whoever he wants to fight. Like, literally, he can ask for anybody until this fight is signed, until the UFC gives him the shot, gives him the paper, and he puts ink to paper. Now, what am I doing if I'm Petr Yan? I'm not accepting the Marcus Mcghee fight because I still think you beat Marcus Mcghee. They could still give Corey the shot. They could still give a Pantoja the shot. You know, there's a lot of there's not a lot of win there for Petr Yan. There's a huge win for Marcus Mcghee, but not a lot for Petr Yan. As if we do this matchup, we look back on those UFC rankings, it really just solidifies a contender. It really does. Umar's injured until October. And Corey versus Petr Yan both have beaten Davis and Figueiredo. Petr's beaten Song. I think Corey's also beaten Song. Umar just lost. Umar's out for a while. Sean's fighting for the belt. So what this kind of clears up is if we do Petr Yan, Corey Sandhagen, it's a clear number 1 contender fight. Winner fights the winner of O'Malley versus Merab if it's not a Alexander de Pantoja moving up type of situation. And if Corey beats Petr Yan, he's clearly next. He's deserved it. He would have deserved it because he lost to number 3, beat number 5. I don't think that deserves you. Like, your merit-wise, that doesn't really deserve you of a title fight. But if you beat number 2, you beat number 5, then you beat number 2, former champion, and O'Malley loses, you're next. Corey's next. If Petr Yan beats Corey, he's next. And then you got Umar waiting until October, June, July, August, September, October. You could do Umar versus O'Malley when he loses to Merab. Imagine that, Umar versus Sean O'Malley, October, Abu Dhabi pay-per-view. And you kind of got a little thing working there. You got Petr Yan, Corey Sandhagen, July. Winner fights Merab in November. MSG, December, T-Mobile Arena, whatever the case may be. And you have the loser there, Sean O'Malley fighting Umar Nurmagomedov. And let's say Umar wins that one. He's right back in line for a title fight type of thing. Maybe you got him to win more than just that. Maybe he's got to beat O'Malley. Then he's got to beat Song Yadong coming up. Or maybe you give Sean O'Malley a break and you do Umar Nurmagomedov versus Song Yadong. There's so much stuff that can go on here. You can do Umar because he just lost above him. He's got to fight down. You can do Umar versus Song Yadong in October. Have Sean O'Malley wait. And then do Umar versus Sean O'Malley later on in this year, maybe early January type of thing. And then you do that. Is that making sense for everybody listening? I don't have like an exact picture reference or anything like that. But here is my plan. Here's my plan. Now that Petr Yan has said, I want Corey Sandhagen. And this is what I want. Okay. Merab Dvalishvili already fighting Sean O'Malley. That's some bullshit. That's horrible. What are we doing, UFC? That's idiotic. But it's already happening. Unfortunately, O'Malley's getting a very undeserved shot. Why? I don't know. But it's happening. We can't really do anything about it. So, we have that fight. We do Petr Yan, number 2, versus Corey Sandhagen, number 4. Then we do number 3, Umar Nurmagomedov versus Song Yadong in October, Abu Dhabi. And we do Petr Yan, Corey Sandhagen in July. Now, Petr Yan, Corey Sandhagen winner is in July. Merab Dvalishvili, Sean O'Malley winner is in June. The winners of both fight each other November, December pay-per-views. Then we got Sean O'Malley. We're going to give Sean O'Malley a break. He's going to fight in June against Merab. He's going to lose. Then we are going to place him versus the winner of Umar Nurmagomedov and Song Yadong. So we got a potential Corey Sandhagen, Petr Yan fight for Merab after. We then have a Sean O'Malley versus the winner of Umar and Song. So Sean versus Umar, Sean versus Song, winner, winner, winner. And then that person will fight Merab. So you got an influx of clear contenders that way. Petr Yan, Corey Sandhagen establishes a very, very clear contender for the bantamweight belt. Umar versus Song doesn't. So then we want Umar to beat Song and then have to beat the number 1 guy after that in Sean O'Malley. If Song beats Umar, he'll be third. He won't be a clear contender yet. So he's got to beat Sean O'Malley. He does that, he's a clear contender. Either way, we have potential for new matchups for Merab as well. And we have potential for there to be a clear contender. We have a Corey Sandhagen fresh matchup if he's able to beat Petr Yan and become a clear contender. We have a fresh matchup in Song Yadong if Song is able to beat Umar in October and then beat Sean O'Malley in January, and that'll line up perfectly because Merab will be fighting in December versus the winner of Petr and Corey Sandhagen. Song Yadong, Sean O'Malley in January, and Song Yadong could have a title fight. Corey Sandhagen could have a title fight. These are new matchups for Merab to clear the entire top 5, top 10 of the bantamweight division. And even if not, even if Song loses, if Umar beats Song, okay, then we got Umar versus Sean O'Malley, and if Umar beats Sean, that'll be deserving of a title fight for Umar. He would have beaten Corey, number 4, Song, number 6, and then beat number 1 Sean O'Malley, get Umar back in there. He had a super close fight with Merab to begin with. We got another clear contender. 2 wins after the loss, a very close loss of that. If Petr Yan beats Corey, he'd be clear. Corey beats Petr. I mean, I think this is a perfect plan. If anybody kind of disagrees with that, comment down below. But I really do feel like that's the perfect plan here. And you also got the influxes, the guys coming up. Mario Bautista, if he beats Marlon Chito Vera. You do him versus Davison Figueiredo once Davison is fully healed. You do that type of thing. You got Rob Font in here. What are we going to do with Rob Font? You probably give him... I don't even know, to be honest. You probably give him Marcus Mcghee at that point. Like, don't even do Marcus versus Petr Yan. That's crazy talk. Do Marcus Mcghee, Rob Font. We got Mario versus Marlon. If Mario wins, he gets Davison. Henry, we just give him a retirement fight versus some unranked dude to build off. Some hype. Aldo's already fighting. If he wins that one, he can get the loser of Marlon Vera. They can do a rematch with Marlon Vera, Jose Aldo, that type of thing. Ayman Zahabi, Jose Aldo, Montel Jackson. Montel can get Kyler Phillips. There's a lot of stuff here, but you guys get the gist. That's what I got. All right, that's it for bantamweight MMA news at the top of the weight class. Let's get into some other stuff. Joel Alvarez moving up to the welterweight division. 6'3", 77-inch reach, 32 years old, from Spain, dominating the competition, except for Arman Tsarukyan and Damir Ismagulov. Joined the UFC 2019. Lost. Debut, lost. But came back. TKO. Submission. TKO. Beats Thiago Moises. Gets ranked in the top 15. And Arman Tsarukyan beats him in an absolutely dominating performance. On the same card as Islam Makhachev, mind you, which was very interesting. On the same card as Ignacio Bahamondes. This is a great card for UFC lightweights. We got Fares Ziam on here. Very interesting card to look back on. And just see how many lightweights have grown into beasts. Fares, 5-fight win streak currently. Ignacio, basically top 15 at this point. Arman Tsarukyan, number 1 contender. Joel, number 15 at lightweight. Islam, champ. And he was just fighting King Green at the time. Bobby Green. I don't know why that's his name. But you see what I mean. And he loses that one. Beats Mark Diaz. He has a bunch of cancellations throughout 2024. Fights at the end of 2024, cool, beats Elvis Brenner, then he beats Drakkar Klose, and then he pulls out yet again. Now, the reason for these pullouts were weird, visa issues, and then he withdrew. I don't know the reason, just going to be straight up with you guys. I don't know how he was supposed to fight Zubaira Tukhugov. That dude's a featherweight, that would have been crazy. But then he pulls out this time, again, this time due to injury against Benoit Saint-Denis. Pulls out, and now he's like, that was supposed to be my final fight at lightweight. I wanted to get a win inside of the rankings, and then I would move up to welterweight, but I couldn't do that. I had to pull out. He's actually moving up to welterweight already. He was about to have that final lightweight fight, and he got injured, pulled out. Now he's going to go to welterweight full time. And we look at the welterweight division really quickly. It's interesting. It is very, very interesting, because you got guys that he's not going to be able to fight in his debut. Like, he's going to fight an unranked dude in his debut in the welterweight division. It's not like he's one of those lightweights, like maybe a Fazia being number 11, where he can move down to, the featherweight division, and you can immediately do him versus Calvin Kattar. You can immediately do him versus Josh Emmett. Him versus Arnold Allen. You can immediately do these type of fights. He's number 15. He has no leverage. Michael Page fighting him. What's that going to do for Page? What's this going to do for Luque? What's it going to do for Prates, Morales, Thompson? Whatever. So, Joel Alvarez is going to be fighting an unranked guy in his debut in the UFC welterweight division. And we got to find him an opponent. In the welterweight division. Because who is he going to fight? Let's go to welterweight. It's going to be unranked. Carlos just lost. Randy Brown is there. Brian Battle is there. Gabriel Bonfim. We got Carlos Leal. I want to give him a veteran. Personally. That's my personal, little deal here. And here's what I'm going to do. We got a guy, a former top 5 UFC welterweight and lightweight, kind of like Joel Alvarez, did both the lightweight thing, cut a lot of weight, was big for the weight class, then moved up. Cut in way too much weight, and then had success in both weight class. Joel is the same thing. Chiesa lost to Luque, Sean Brady, Kevin Hall, and these are top-tier level guys. And then he got 2 wins. Tony Ferguson by submission, Max Griffin by submission. Now he's fighting Court McGee. I think he wins that one. 3 wins in a row for Michael Chiesa, but he wouldn't have beaten anybody of note. Tony's on a crazy losing streak. Max, not a crazy win either. Court McGee is not going to be a crazy win either. He hasn't beaten any of these Randy Browns, Brian Battles, Bonfim, Leal, Dalby, Jake Matthews. He hasn't beaten any of these guys, the guys that are right outside of the top 15. He hasn't beaten any of them. So what I want to do, before Chiesa gets that shot, I want to give him a really big test. I want to really build Joel Alvarez's name immediately. And we do Michael Chiesa, Joel Alvarez on a Ilia Topuria fight card. Ilia is going to probably fight at UFC 317. Win or lose, I don't know what's going to happen there. But whatever Ilia's next fight after that is, main event, whatever, put Joel Alvarez, Michael Chiesa on that card. It's going to be a while from now. Again, Michael Chiesa is fighting in June 14th. Ilya is probably going to fight at the end of June 28th. So timelines match up. Whenever Ilya's next fight is, whatever pay-per-view that's on, Michael Chiesa, Joel Alvarez, put that on the main card. Put that on the main card. All the Spanish people are going to be viewing for Ilya, so might as well let them see Joel Alvarez as well in his new weight class against a big name in Michael Chiesa, former top 5 in multiple weight classes. That's what I got to say for you. All right. Then we got Benoit Saint-Denis rejecting a Mateusz Gamrot fight. We were just talking about Joel Alvarez stepping in, pulling out, and then moving up to the welterweight division. Benoit was looking for an opponent, and guess what? Gamrot said no. Gamrot has no, not Gamrot. Benoit said no. It's a higher ranked guy on short notice. Gamrot is in the worst position. You had a full training camp. Gamrot did not. Gamrot would be, and you still said no, Benoit. Crazy. So he said no to Benoit Saint-Denis only to accept this fight. Now you guys might be, who is that? Who is that? Kyle Propolik. He went 0-2 in the UFC like 5 or 6 years ago. Left the UFC, won some, lost some, and is currently on a 3-fight round 1, I believe, knockout streak. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And I think he's like 35, 36 years old from Canada, so it makes sense to definitely have him, on a Canada card. Short notice, they're just giving a big opportunity to him. But for Benoit, said no to Mateusz Gamrot to fight a guy that went 0-2 in the UFC a few years back. Lost the guys on the regional scene as well. I don't know. I don't know, Benoit. I don't know if I respect this decision. It is kind of free money type of thing where he's going to make money, like for the win, the show, the potential fight of the night, getting a finish over so financially I respect it from Benoit Saint-Denis, but what are you doing? You were just in main events. You probably already made a lot of money in the UFC. You're number 13. You were about to fight number 50. Now you're fighting unranked. It's not going to do anything for you. You got offered number 7 after losing to number 10 and number 5. You lost to number 5 and number 10, and they're giving you 7. And he said no. I don't know. I understand. Because, again, financially better to get the show and win easily, guaranteed against Kyle Propolik. But it's a little weird. Next. Muslim Salikov, July fight news soon. I'm assuming, most people are assuming, it's going to be on that July Abu Dhabi card. I'm forgetting who I matched them up with personally. Neil Magny. I have him versus Neil Magny on the Abu Dhabi card. That's just what I kind of want. But, we'll see. We'll see if that actually comes to fruition. But he has a fight. He's got a fight signed. We'll see about that. Azamat Bekoyev, 2-0 in the UFC, 2 finishes in the UFC, and calls out 1-0 in the UFC, and undefeated 10-0 or 11-0. I'm forgetting. Torres Finney. It's an interesting fight right there, guys. That's an interesting fight right there. Torres Finney, again, undefeated. Azamat undefeated in the UFC. And he's legit. This is a tough fight for Finney. I think Azamat probably would win this fight. And it makes sense trajectory-wise, like step up in competition-wise for both of them. But I don't know. We'll see. I think actually, I don't know. Comment down below. I think this would be a step down for Azamat. I actually think Loader is a harder matchup than Torres Finney. Like, honestly, I really do think so. So, yeah, this would be great for Azamat. I think he would win this matchup. And, gain a lot of fans. I mean, look at the comments. Look at all these people wanting him to go out there and win this fight. We got Gerald Mershart saying he wants July. I think he won it on... Was it the... No. I don't know what card he said he wanted on, but he wants on July. He wants on a July card. And for me, let's see who I had him booked against. Oops. Do I not have him on here? Oh, I spelled it wrong. That's why. Gerald. I got Marco Tulio. I'm giving him to the Wolves, and I'm not giving him July. I got him in September. Marco Tulio, Gerald Mearshart. We could put him earlier. Who do we trade him for, though? Let's see. Louisiana. Who do I want to trade him for? We'll trade him for Sean Woodson and Gabriel Santos. We'll make those guys wait because Sean just got knocked out. That's what we'll do. That is what we'll do. All right. That is what we will do. All right, Marco Tulio and Gerald Mearshart. We'll give you your wish, and we'll give you January. You're welcome. All right. Gerald Mearshart, Marco Tulio. I think that makes sense. Gerald coming off a loss. He's a veteran. Marco, 2-0 in the UFC, 2 finishes. He needs a big name on his resume. Gerald Mearshart is that big name. Gerald is that big name. That's what we're going to do. Last but not least, we do have Tracy Cortez and Viviane Araújo, UFC 317. Currently, I think there's like nine fights on the card. And we are less than 2 months away, almost a month and a half away from UFC 317. Never mind, I'm totally messing with you. Totally messing with you. Only 5 fights. That's it. We got Justin Tafa, Jonathan Deniz, Viviane Araújo, Tracy Cortez just added. Michael versus Daniel isn't signed yet, but it's agreed. We'll see if that actually comes to fruition. Manel versus Royval, Paulo versus Roman. And that's it. And, sorry, my bad. Kai Kara France, Alexandre Pantoja, co-main event. So, interesting. We have 6 fights currently. But we'll see. That's it for today's MMA news. Like and subscribe. See you in the next one.